Hi there. It is mid-February. Well, not quite mid-February. And I thought I would go through the decks that I've been using and talk about some new things that I've got in. And then I'm going to piece some of these videos together and make them into one and talk about my favorite deck of the month, which I don't know yet what that's going to be. But I do know that this deck, which is the Lighthouse and Fog, is going to be one of my favorites. I've shown this before, but this deck is just beautiful, and I am really just loving it. You can tell that it's a collab deck, and each suit was done by a different artist. But I think this deck is just beautiful, and I'm having so much fun with it and really enjoying it. And the pentacles are way different. Well, they're all different, but they go together in this weird way. And so I am really liking them. And I like all the artists. The pentacles are really different. Sometimes the cups are different. And I went to order like the mini. And the mini is sold out, unfortunately, because I was having so much fun with it. I thought I would enjoy using the mini with it, but I don't know if these will come back. I think they said there was only a couple left of these. The big ones, I got it from Duvalle, and I'm just not sure if these will come back or not. But for me, I've been really having a fun time with this deck, and it's been one of my favorites so far for February. But I am expecting some decks in the next few days, so we'll see what ends up being my favorite. And then I'll just film this and then talk a little bit about what's going on, show you some new decks, and then I'll probably do a few of these as the weeks go by in February. But this one was a lot of fun for me, and I really loved it. And I'm still enjoying it. I think I showed this in my January. Anyway, I showed it as a new deck not very long ago, but I've really been enjoying this one. It's a lot of fun. It is in Chinese, so I can't read the guidebook, but it's easy to use without the guidebook. Another deck I'm still using is the Latero Arthurien. I got this out. I've just filmed my favorite Fools, and I almost used this one, but I finally narrowed it down. So I didn't end up using it, but it is definitely awesome. This is an amazing deck. It deals with the Arthurian legends. It is only in French at this moment in time. I think the English version is, I don't know who's going to publish the English version of it. But anyway, this cardstock is lovely, though, I will say. It's got the gold gilding, and the cardstock is really, really nice on this deck. So that's one thing about the French decks, is they're often really high quality. So you could probably translate it. What you could do is get this, and then when the English guidebook comes out, you could just buy the English guidebook. But anyway, this is a fantastic deck, and I used it last year from January to March, and then I just couldn't wait to start playing with it again, and so I've been using it more for February. I used it a little in January too, but I do love this deck. So this is Latero Arthurien, and it is really special. It's by Claire Duvalle, by the way. And you probably recognize the art by Arthurian. Okay, another beautiful deck I got in that could be a contender for the deck of the month is my Fireflower tarot, and I showed this last month. It's by Brandy Eve Allen. Brandy Eve Allen is the creator of one of my favorite decks, which is the Invisible Light Tarot, which I've shown a million times, but that's the box to that one. And this is the Invisible Light Tarot. I'll show you in a minute just because I've been using them together some. But this deck I am really loving. It uses the photography style that she used in the Invisible Light, where she rolls the camera back and then takes another picture. And the background on all of these cards is really black, so it looks really great with your black decks, especially black decks that are colorful. But I am really enjoying this deck, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I think it's incredibly beautiful. I'm very attached to the Invisible Light, so it makes sense that I would just enjoy this one. But I like how the things are depicted in this, and I like that she used flowers and fire. And so it just feels like a fire deck, but it's very beautiful. It's got a lot of blue in it, and it's got great cardstock. I love the cardstock on it. And I've just been having a lot of fun with this deck in February. It's very cool. And I'm not going to show you pairings right now. Maybe I'll do that in just a separate video and add it on at the end of all of this. And I'll post this all as one video. But because I'm starting to film more of my monthly videos like a week at a time, because it's just kind of easier for me. We are supposed to get some cold weather coming up. We haven't really had any cold weather here this year, but we are supposed to get like a week of really cold weather. So I might not be able to film until after that is over. But this is beautiful, it's cool, and I am enjoying it. It's really fun. Oh, and then I'll just kind of show you the Invisible Light because I've been talking about it. I showed you this, I think, last time. But these are fun together. I think they're kind of cool together, but they are the same artist. But they're such different decks but you know, like, you can see the photography style is somewhat similar in these. There's more black and white in this one, and this one's peoply, and this one is plants and flowers only. But they're just a cool photography style and a unique take on tarot. This deck is I'm very bonded to it because I used it. I've had this for 7 or 8 years, probably 8 years at this point. But I got bonded to this at a time when I was having a really hard time. And so the meanings in this deck and the way that she saw the cards is really unique, but it makes so much sense. And I use it all the time. It is one of my favorites, and I just absolutely love it. I just think it's cool, and I am already loving this new one too. But I think that they're kind of fun together, and it's kind of interesting to read them together. So this one is an old deck. This one is the newest one. This one's available now. Hi there. I just got back from a trip and only brought 2 decks with me. And one of them was my Rosetta. And I also brought my Toth deck. But because we were just gone for a week, I thought I would just bring 1 deck. But then I ended up bringing 2. I was just going to bring this because this is waterproof, and you can bring it anywhere, to the bars, to water, around anything, sand, being sand. So I brought this, and then I brought my medium-sized Toth deck just because I always want to have it with me. But anyway, this is a Thoth-based deck. It's by MM Meleen. It is the Rosetta Tarot. These are the lovely backs. This is a deck. There's different versions of this. I think this came out in this version was the version before the first version, and it came out in 2011. Is that right? Does it say when this deck came out? But sometime around there. Maybe the first edition came out in 2012. So anyway, this is an old deck. But it's a deck that I take everywhere, that I'm really bonded to. And I guess 2011-12 is not old. I have a print of this. It's very cool. I love this moon card. Anyway, this is a deck that is the system I'm most familiar with. It's easiest for me to read with. It is not a clone. It goes its own way, but it is definitely a Thoth-based deck. And MM Meleen's art is very cool. This is when she was first starting to really draw tarot decks, but she did an amazing job. And this is just a deck that I really enjoy. I love the feel of these laminated cards. I love using this deck. It's always a favorite of mine. And it's just cool. And I've shown it a million times, so I won't go through the whole thing, but it is really beautiful. And the first edition had these black borders, but the first edition is not laminated. It is much thinner cardstock, and comes in this, well, I'll show you at some point. There's the Fool. But it is a very cool deck, and it is, if you are mainly a Thoth-based reader, and that's mainly what you use, this is a great deck to use. The newest version has like yellow borders. The version before that had hieroglyphs on it, and it didn't have anything other than the hieroglyphs. It was very cool. But I think that version might be out of print now and just the yellow version available. The yellow version is bigger than this. So anyway, this is the Rosetta Tarot, an amazing deck, and one of my favorite decks of all time. So that was a favorite in February. Another deck I've been using is the Bad Girl Tarot. This one's always a favorite, and it makes me laugh. And I have been using this a little just to kind of lighten things up. And I love the way it reads. I'll kind of just show you what it looks like on the table. But it's a favorite, and it's really fun. It's humorous, and it's sassy, and it's sexy and cool, and it's kind of everything you want in a tarot deck if you don't want to take life too seriously at the moment. I love that death card. I think the Fool is so funny. Anyway, it's a great deck. It is, I think, on pre-order right now, so I think it'll probably be out in a month or two. But this is really fun, and I really enjoy this deck. I kind of use it year-round when I'm in a mood, and it is lovely and just super fun. I used the Oracle this month too. I have been. And I've been enjoying both. I love the Devil. Anyway, it's great. And it is just a cool deck. And a favorite of mine. So this has just been fun. I'll link where to get it down below. Anyway, so I'll probably keep using this the rest of the month, and then maybe into spring. It's kind of got a wintry spring vibe for me. Another February deck is the Jupiter Tarot, and I showed this in my spring collection last year. And this is really fun and enjoyable. And it's just quirky and silly. I've had this artist's decks for years and have shown them a ton. This is their newest deck. Six Sad Girls is the name of the creators. But they're great. And all their decks are fun. This kind of felt like winter going into spring. And it just felt appropriate for the winter into spring this year. And we hadn't had much of a winter because we usually don't. But then last week it got really cold. And only for a few days. But it froze here. And I went up to Seattle. And it was cold there too. We went on a trip to see some music and just do some fun things. But while we were there, it was quite cold. But I think that's over and our winter is now over. And we're going into spring. But this deck is a lot of fun and I always enjoy it. It's just unusual and quirky. And it's a cool deck to use going into spring. So that is the Jupiter Power Tarot. It's got green edges. How cool is that? Okay, I'm going to show you some of the new decks I got. I got the Yokai Tarot last year. I just haven't opened it. I got an Oracle when I was watching Simon's channel from the Chalice Well, which I'm super excited about. I got the Hong Kong Garden, which I've already been using. It's by Julia Popescu, Snakes for Hair. So this has been really fun, and I've just been really loving this deck. And it's got really unusual cardstock. It's got pink backs and then this bright pink writing, and then it's got these gold borders. I love the cardstock. It feels like it's waterproof. A lot of the times I want waterproof decks. And I just think it's beautiful. I'll show it out on the table. But anyway, I've been pairing this with my Death Dealer Oracle once in a while. And that's been kind of cool looking. Anyway, I have been really enjoying this deck. And I'm mostly using it by itself, but I have paired it with that Oracle deck a little because it has gold on it. I had it out the other day. And so anyway, I do really like this one. It is a very pippish deck, which sometimes I really want. It's got like a little bit of an Asian vibe, and I've been working with the I Ching this month. I went to a class at the OTO on it, and I learned more about it, and I used it when I was younger a lot, and then I went through some phases where I used it, and I'm using it again. And I find it to be a pretty accurate reader. So that's kind of fun. Oh, I love that Judgment card. Anyway, this is a great deck and just really sweet. And I'm enjoying getting to use it. Okay, so let's open this Yokai Tarot. I'm actually really excited about this deck. I got some decks that I haven't opened yet because I felt like I got a lot for Christmas and I just wanted to wait. So sometimes what happens is I'll get Kickstarters in all at once. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's shipping from China or what it is. But sometimes I'll just get a batch of them. And I got a batch of them, and then I got Christmas presents. So I still have decks that I haven't opened. So I'm not really trying not to buy anything right now, because I just want to go open things slowly and start using them. Anyway, this deck is a mass market deck. I was very excited to get this one. I think it is incredibly beautiful, and I'm excited to start playing with it. I'm probably going to wait till March to use it, but it looks very exciting to me. I briefly saw pictures of it online. I haven't seen any videos of it, but I think it's now probably been out for a couple of months. I don't know when it came out, honestly. But anyway, super excited to use it. I have the original Yokai Tarot, and really love that one. This one looks really fun too. And then I have an Italian mass market one, but I enjoy these beans. And so I just thought this would be a fun one, and it's mass market, so it's easy to get. And I just kind of been holding off on opening it, but it is super exciting, and it looks pretty fun and cool. So that is cool. I hear a bird chirping over there. Happy about the day, apparently. So you might have seen this before. I have not seen all these cards before. Oh, that's gorgeous. Wow. This is a cool deck. So I am excited to play with this one. And look at that queen. Fantastic. You kind of like the backs too. They're kind of cool. Yokai Tarot. The deck of Japanese folklore by Marga Biazzi, Paolo Bertazzo. All right, next, I am super excited about this deck, and I couldn't wait to open it, but I wanted to do it on camera. This is the Maidens of the Summerlands, and it was on Simon's channel. And I am super excited to show you this one. Arian Rod Maiden, Arian Rod Lady. The cardstock on this is gorgeous. Look at these backs. This is a beautiful deck. It's got gold, coppery gold on it. It's gorgeous. Arian Rod Effigy. Isolt Maiden. Isolt Lady. Isolt Effigy. This is cool if you're working with the Arthurian legends. It's really kind of more for that. Ragnall Maiden. Ragnall Lady. Ragnall Effigy. Dendrain Maiden. Dendrain Lady, Dendrain Effigy, Elaine Maiden, Elaine Lady, Elaine Effigy. All right, sorry about that. I don't know where I was, so I'm just going to start over because I had an interruption. So, not the same day, and I've forgotten now where I am. So I just was going to do a quick flip through of these. And I think that last time, well, anyway, I'll probably cut out the first part of last time because I did not show you all the cards. But these are from the Chalice Well. And they're very Arthurian legend, and they are very beautiful. They have gold on them, and then they have gold on the backs. So the borders are like this coppery gold, and then they have this gold border. So if you enjoy the Arthurian legends, you will probably enjoy these because they are very much of that realm. And I'm excited to use them. I love these stories. They're some of my very favorites. And I would like to get back into this year. I've been using the Latero Arthurien. And this is right up the alley. Oh, I think I first got to show you that one. And this is the Well Maidens of the Summerlands from the Chalice Well. Gorgeous. Okay, this was an oracle I got. It was through Kickstarter. It goes through the Decans. Was it 2 years ago? I can't remember. I think it was 2 years ago. I've been doing Decan walks for a lot of years. Before the pandemic, for sure. So anyway, this was an oracle deck that I've showed before. It really is a Decan deck. And it really is, each Decan has a card. And then I'll have like Ostara, Beltane, Litha, Lungasa, Mabon, Samhain, Yule, Imbolc, Magic, Motion. And then it'll have just like go boldly, take the lead, feed your desires, cultivation. So this came out, and then it had these little cards that go with it. And then maybe last year, a Kickstarter for the Oracle book funded, and this month I got the book. And so it's just basically for supporting you in your Decan walk. But it's really cool because it's a Decan deck, and it's only the Decans. And I mean, we've talked about this before, and I think you guys have probably seen this before. But it's kind of cool that there's a Decan deck. And we'll probably see more now that this one's out. But it is pretty cool, and it's got little stickers. And it came with a little stand. And it also came with the Lunar Phase card pack. So that's kind of cool. These are the backs. Oh, this is super sweet too. So it's just the moon phases with a little mousey. This is very sweet. Cute little addition. So that's the Wild Way Oracle deck and book. I'll link it below. Hi there. Today I thought we would go back to talking about decks that I'm using in February. And I've been using the Efflorescent Tarot. This is a deck by Peony Archer, Peony's Kitchen. Peony Archer, sorry. This is the old version that I've had for a long time. There is a new version I did back it. I have not yet opened it, so can't tell you what the new version's like, but I think it's kind of similar. And I think the images might be the same, but I always enjoy this deck, and I've been in this kind of mood. So I've been loving this. And I go through these phases because this is like the deck you want to use when everything is not perfect, because the characters are not always having a good time and they have such expressive faces. And I really enjoy this, using this deck. And it is great for when you want something that is mirroring how things feel to you. And February has not been the easiest month. And so I have just enjoyed the Efflorescent Tarot. There is a new version of this out that I think is somewhat similar. I have shown this deck in the past many times. I also have a trimmed version of it. The cardstock is glossy and I love it. It's kind of perfect. It shuffles so great and it's super easy to use. And I love the cardstock and the glossiness of this deck. It just goes with this deck. And it's just got that cardstock that shuffles so great. And it's not the glary gloss. It's kind of just like laminated type cards. Kind of that old style cool lamination. Anyway, kind of like Carol Hertzer decks. This deck has definitely been one of my favorites and probably is in the running for top February deck. Okay, another deck I've been using has been the Cave of Sybil. So I've just been drawing a card at a time with this deck. So there's an image and then there's a keyword on the back. And I've been and it's a spell deck. I've just been using one card at a time and taking my time with it. And I don't have a certain time that I'm working with each card. I'm just working with it for however long it feels right. And I've shown this before, I think. Yeah, I have. But this is just a practice I'm using right now. I'll probably keep using this throughout the year. Because I was very attracted to this. This is by Tiera May. I'm sure you've heard of it and know that. But anyway. This is a cool practice. It is an oracle deck, and it is not something I'm using to read with. It's something I'm using to work with. And I'm enjoying it. So that is the Cave of Sybil. Okay, another deck I've been using this month is this little cutie, the Squid Cake Marseille. I have the indie version of this too, but this is the mass market version. So I've been working with this deck in a couple different groups, and so it's just been kind of fun. It's a very beginner-friendly deck, and it's, I think, very cute and charming. The indie version does not have the names of everything on the cards. So for a beginner, this mass market version is actually better. And the guidebook's cute and sweet and just kind of, the guidebook is cute and it works a little bit on like what's in the card and directions and things. It doesn't go into great detail or anything like that. It just is very brief and a kind of cute little beginner's guide in the deck. And I just like it because it's fun to use with other people and in these groups because it's something that everybody, I feel like, can wrap their head around. And so if you are reading Marseille with a group, and there's people in it that haven't read Marseille before, it's a great deck to use for that because it's simplified enough that it's easy for a beginner to understand. I mean, I would recommend this for beginners, actually. And it's, since it's mass market, and the cardstock's not terrible, it's pretty decent. And the gilding on it is so cute. It's this soft, sweet pink, which totally matches the whole vibe of the deck. Sometime I think I would like to film all my pink decks, and this, of course, would be one of them. But anyway, I think it's adorable. I think it's really cute, and it's been really fun. It's very easy to just throw it in my purse and then do a reading when I'm out wherever I am. So it's been a fun February deck, and it fit the February vibe. All right, I've been working with some Oracle decks, and I don't know if I showed these in my January new decks, or if I opened them when I got them and it was right after, because I think I got all of these at the very end of January. I think they're supposed to come in February, and they all three came in early, just like kind of maybe the very last, right before in bulk. So this is a Gothic Witch Oracle by Raven Digitalis. I think this is a great deck for looking at kind of the darker side of things, kind of exploring that dark realm. It's a photography deck, but it's also got like a little bit of collage going on, and it's not overly complicated. It talks about like blood magic, communicating with the dead, modifying the body, bonding with the elements, things like that. And it is definitely a darker deck. I've been having fun with this. Crafting shadow spells, which doesn't mean something bad. Learning from sorrow, shattering your mental prisons, creating dark art. Again, not something scary, just kind of looking at shadow self. Okay, so this is the Gothic Witches Oracle. That has been kind of a fun deck this month. So I'm just going to show you, like, crafting a shadow spell. Talks about deciding what you'd like to work magic for in your life, invoking confidence and precision, determining the style of spell and timing. This card indicates something in your life requires your skill as a spellcaster. Bring to mind any challenges you're facing at this time. If you do not currently feel the pull to create a spell or charm or ritual, the message of the card is to help someone else in need. After gaining permission to perform a helpful spell or ceremony for someone else, plan the procedure and execute it mindfully and precisely. If neither of these scenarios fits your life, consider creating some type of spell to help others in need, human, animal, or environment. So even though it's got a dark theme, the messages and what they're doing in this deck is actually pretty positive, and it's trying to help you kind of look at other sides of things and do things a little differently. But I thought this was kind of cool. Next deck is Witches of the Craft. This was another pre-order that I got right at the end of January. I might have opened these without showing them on camera, because I think it might have been right after I did my walkthroughs. So this one is just talking about different types of witches. So how this one is useful, and this is, you know, one of a series. I think I have 11 of these now. The art in this one is, well, it is what it is. Let's just say that. But where this one is useful is in the guidebook. It has rhymes that, like Grain Witch. The harvest in bushels of grain, Mother Earth provides again. Rewards to reap, goals to complete, gratitude for corn and wheat. The magic is worked with harm to none, so mote it be, there it is done. So it's really good, like if you want to use the little poems in some type of circle work that you're doing. It's already kind of written out for you in this really like cute rhymey way. And if you don't want to create your own, it's good for you here. And then there's guidance about relying on another person to support you. Just as we grain witches avoid struggle by storing for the leaner months, forget supermarket stockpiling. Instead, try hedgerow aisles. And then there's a little bit of foresight. Look after your affairs. Be decisive. Seek nature's culinary delights for recipes and spells. And a grain witch reaps what they sow. So basically, it's a good deck, I think, if you're a witch or you want to be a witch or you're kind of casting spells in a circle and you want maybe a little help with that. So it's kind of fun for that. That's kind of what it's meant to be. And there's all different types of witches in here, but you could just be a regular witch and use like the poems and things for your spells and stuff like that. So kind of a fun deck, Witches of the Craft. It's another Kate Osborne deck. Okay. Next one I pre-ordered was Daydreams and Moonbeams. This is a Tess Whitehurst deck. It's mass market too. I've been doing a lot of fairy tale work the last few years. I filmed some videos last year. I never put them up though. I'm still ironing out some of the kinks in this, but I've been doing a lot of fairy tale work. And so I thought this would be a fun oracle to have. And I studied fairy tales professionally in the past, and I see a lot of value in them. I did a lot of fairy tale work in my anthroposophical training, and I just really enjoy the fairy tales. And it's something that I studied for a long time. So I got this deck. It's kind of young, childlike, but something that is pretty cool and is just kind of fun. And I'm enjoying working with it. It's not super deep or anything. It's just kind of cute and fairy tale-like and not overly complex, which sometimes you just want. I love this Rainy Day Magic one. And it's a little bit different, younger vibe than we're used to seeing with the fairy tales. Kind of cool, something different. Okay, another deck that I have been working with and trying to figure out how to use is my Flying Hearts Tarot. This one is challenging because I've showed you this deck before, but I've translated everything, and it's challenging because things don't translate exactly from German to English. So you can't just like use Google Translate to translate, because these are more concepts rather than just words. And so the concepts sometimes are different and have different meanings in German. So I had to have my friend that speaks German kind of help me with this. And some of the chords have different meanings. And then in the suits, you have the fire, water, earth, air. But then the court cards have their own suit. And so it doesn't follow the tarot structure. And so it does its own thing. So you can't really use it the same as you would a normal tarot, but it does have strong ties to the tarot. And so I'm working with this deck and getting to know it, but I wouldn't say that I'm there yet. And I am struggling with it a little, but here's the thing. I like the images enough, and I like the lighthearted fun of this enough that I am going to keep working with it. I did find out, which I didn't know this until recently, that the Flying Hearts company was connected to Osho, and they did another deck, another tarot deck that is maybe less of a structure than this deck, And all of that is also tied into this deck. And honestly, I don't know anything about that spirituality. Some of Osho's teachings are somehow incorporated into this deck, and I don't know them. So I think this deck is going to just take some work for me to be able to really use it effectively. And I'm not interested in learning like those concepts or anything. I think learning how they are incorporated into the tarot might be great. There's another deck they did called The Goose is Out, which is also out of print. I think this is a little bit more what I like. The images are more what I like in this one. This one has a more fun, playful style of collage. The other one looks like it's more like an RWS deck. And so still working with this. I definitely don't feel like I have it mastered. Okay, I did work with my Void Tarot a little bit again this month. I think, when did I get this? November, December, something like that. Anyway, I've shown this. It's my red and black, just kind of fun deck. It's got like really sweet cardstock. It's definitely the rose petal style. It's softening up. So I'm still enjoying this, and I've been pairing this with a variety of things. I think this is a cool deck, and I am still really drawn to it. And I used it some in February. Kind of feels like a February deck, to be honest. And I think I keep finding new things in this deck all the time. But it is a unique thing. I think she's putting them out little bits at a time. Really not sure what the status of this is, but it may not be everybody's cup of tea, but for me, I really like this. I think it's kind of cool. So still working with the Void Tarot. All right, this is something that I got a long time ago, but I hadn't opened it. So I'm going to open it, although I probably won't show you the cards because you have seen a million of these, but I wanted to wait till we were getting towards the end of February before showing you my Ostara decks. All right, this is the box. There's a million of these. There's one for each of the Sabbats. Ooh, this one's pretty. I like this one. Oh, I'll just go through it. But anyway, it was something I'm going to use probably like next week at the start of March, because it's going to be closer to Ostara at that point in time. Ostara falls like either on the 20th or the 21st. So I always like to start using the decks a few weeks ahead of that, maybe a month ahead of that. So I thought this would be a good day to open this deck. This one's cute. I actually really like this one. Very fitting, Moon Milk. Peach Moonstone. It's very pinky. And very cute. So I'm excited to use this one. And I think you've probably seen this because people have probably done walkthroughs of this since it came out, which was probably a month ago. And this is the last one. I think they're all out now. So another new one that came in is the Sacred Wood Oracle. And I have a book or two by this artist, but it's a beautiful oracle deck. I actually didn't know that she was doing an oracle deck until recently, and I have seen this on Rose Bay's channel since I ordered it. It sat for a bit and I didn't open it, but it's gorgeous. Her art is just amazing. It's by Annie Stagg Gerard, and I don't remember who did the work. Maybe, let me look and see who did the, I mean, she did the deck, but somebody wrote the book, I think. It is written by Lauren Loggins and Annie Stagg Gerard. But it's Annie's artwork. And her artwork is stunning. It's just incredible, I think. So this is fun, and I'm excited to use this. It is just gorgeous. Really beautiful. This looks so much like something I know. Anyway, this is just stunning. And the quality of these cards is very good. This is fantastic. This is well worth it. It wasn't very expensive, I don't think. All right, so another one that I've been using that's a newer deck is the Philippe Vachier. And this, I think I got it within the last couple months. And this year, or this month, I decided I really just wanted to use it. And the thing that's different about this one is it's got a lot of purple in it, which is kind of unusual in tarots from this era. So I thought this one was cool, and I've been having fun with it. I like it. It's kind of cool, and it's an Yves Renaud deck, as you probably recognize. And if you are a fan of his, you probably got this one. And it's his newest deck. And so this has been a fun Marseille deck for the month. I'm in a little group that's doing a Marseille study, and I've studied Marseille for years and used it for years, but it's always fun to be in those groups because if nothing else, it's a cool social thing, and you see what people are chatting about, and it's a way to connect. It's kind of cool to be involved. And I have a ton of Marseille decks and books and everything like that. But anyway, that's the Philippe Vachier deck. I am having a hard time deciding deck of the month this year. And it is between two decks. And I love them both. For different reasons. This is the Hong Kong Garden, which I've shown. Sorry, the birds are loud. This is the Efflorescent Tarot by Peony Archer. And they're both such cool decks. And this month was hard, so I really related to this deck. And this deck was just new and fun, and I love the cardstock. And I'm not sure what to pick for my deck of the month. Can I have two decks of the month? I don't know if I can have two decks of the month. So I guess I could draw a card from each and see which deck wins. I kind of just want to use them both as my card of the month. I don't know if that's cheating. Anyway, I love both these decks so much, and I just had so much fun with this, even though it's an old deck of mine. And this one's just new and cool. And I just don't know which deck to pick. Last month I had a hard time too, though, because there were 2 decks I was really enjoying. Oh, that's so pretty. I don't know. I'm going to pick them both. I'm going to have 2 decks of the month. And maybe another month I don't know. It'll mean I have 13 at the end of the month and end of the year instead of 12. And then I'll need to pick 1 deck from 13. I'll try and not do that again. But I love both of these. And I had such a good time with both of them. I didn't get this one till halfway through the month. But I used it so much once I got it. And this one I used all month. Look at that. Isn't that just one of the coolest judgment cards ever? Anyway, I love both of these. I don't think I have time to do anything else because I think this video is going to already be like over an hour. So I think maybe I'll show you pairings in a different video. I'm not pairing these, I'm just showing you my 2 favorite decks of the month. Okay, so I'll just finish. I think I've shown this. I don't know if I've shown the whole thing. Wow, 3 cups in a row there. So that is the Hong Kong Garden. And this is the Efflorescent Tarot. I love the cardstock on this too. It's like a laminated. I know not everybody loved it, but I think it's great and it shuffles amazingly. They both shuffle amazing. Okay, those are my 2 decks of the month. Thanks for watching. See ya.